in the room. Come on in the room. Bucks winning tonight 125-96 over the Miami Heat. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. He writes out on the screens. It gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. Cream City crossover, the Groove Truck House Dirt.
Justin.
Yeah, just me and Justin from NC in the house tonight. Man, what a game. Bucks winning 125-96. Get the dub over the Miami Heat. You gotta feel good. Getting that win. To me, and I'll go out and say, to me, this is the best game of the year. 5-game win streak for the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll talk about the issues the Milwaukee Bucks had getting into Milwaukee, getting back from New Orleans. Remember last night we did a show, trade show, just talking about some different trades, some of the rumors that came out. So if you didn't watch last night, go back, go through the archives, live shows, go check us out from last night. Myself, Chris King, and Justin, we're in here having some fun discussing some of that stuff. But tonight, the Bucks had one. They did get out of New Orleans, got out late, about an hour and a half before the game started, and they go get themselves a dub. After being down 20-5. They figured this thing out, and they absolutely rolled through the rest of the game, 125-96. A lot of fun stuff. Let's get to it. We'll try to get to it as fast as we can. Again, if you want to in the chat, talk to us in the chat, and then on Twitter at TCIIIESQ. And let's get into it with a little bit of a game recap tonight. Giannis, 25, 12, and 4. 3 blocks for him, 10 of 18. Didn't take a 3. It was 5 of 10 from the line. Plus 19. Only 1 turnover for him. Taurean Prince, 3 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. In 25 minutes of action, Brook Lopez in 34 minutes of action, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks for him. Andre Jackson Jr., 3 points, 4 rebounds. And how about Damian Lillard? They took away the triple-double. I think I have it in the scroll here that he had a triple-double, but they took away the rebound. So he officially finishes with 29, 9, and 11, 2 steals, 9 of 21 from the field tonight. 5 of 14 from 3. He started off poorly shooting the ball, did not score at all in the first quarter, and then just came on strong for the rest of the game. Was really good. Gary Trent Jr., 21 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 7 of 10 from 3, shot 70% from 3. He was a plus 31 tonight. Everything coming from behind the arc for him. How about Bobby Portis tonight? You can shout his name when he goes 16 and 8. 3 assists, 7 of 14 from the field. He was a plus 16. Ryan Rollins, 7 points. Pat Connaughton, 2 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. And then you had your guys getting the end of the game. How about Tyler Smith had a couple triples he knocked down as well to finish this thing off. On the other side of Miami Heat, Duncan Robinson, 12 points, struggled, 4 of 13 from the field, 3 of 12 from 3. Bam Adebayo, 11 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists. He struggled, 5 of 12 from the field. How about Khalil Ware was very good tonight, 22 and 10. Double machine. He's turned into a little bit of a monster. One of the guys that I think a lot of people could have identified. Said, man, Khalil Ware is going to be a baller. He's playing well. Larson kid, he looked terrible. Tyler Hero, 21 points, 9 assists, 3 boards for him. Have Highsmith with 3 points. Scary Terry, not so scary. 4.6 rebounds, 3 assists for him. And Jovic, 8 points. Jaquez, 8 points. All the guys, Dame got a trade. That's just a trade for Dame. The Dame package sucked. The Dame package was a 2-pack of ass. I don't know why people think that Dame package is something special or anything of the sort. It's not. I'm not with it at all. But the Milwaukee Bucks, they get a dub tonight. Did what they were supposed to do. And again, the game started off they were down 20-5. It looked like a team that was, say jet lag, but again, it was reported they hadn't done anything 3 days prior. They hadn't played, they hadn't dribbled a basketball, hadn't done a card, hadn't done anything on the floor basketball activities. They get in an hour and a half before the game, and again, the first few minutes looked like a team that hadn't played in a while, but after that, they settled in, and it was, just very easy the way they looked. Really, Gary Trent gets in. He starts knocking down triples as soon as he gets in the game. Giannis was doing, his thing as soon as I think he missed a couple. Start off 0-4 from the line, something like that. And again, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about the Giannis free throw discussion as well. That like, it's not so much as like I was saying. I'll let you have it, Justin. It's not so much to me that Giannis shoots sub 70% or whatever. He's a streaky free throw shooter. So it's not like, let's say, I don't know what he is, probably hover around 60% from the line for the year. But it's not like every night he goes out and he's somewhere 5 of 11 or 6 of 10 and maybe let me say this, maybe he ends up, but I guess my point is, it's not like he goes down and splits a pair every single time. That's not really what he does. Or, he's 2 for 4. He really, it really seems more like for him where he's going to miss 6 in a row and then he's going to come back and go 7 of 10. And so again, it's the game within the game, numbers within the numbers. And I think he does hit them a lot late in games, clutch moments as well, which is good. But again, it's just one of those things where it's not it looks bad because you're under 60%. But tonight from the line, he finishes 5 of 10. I think he started off 0 for 6 or whatever it was. It didn't feel like he shot 50%. It felt like it in a moment, and in the next moment after, he's knocking down every free throw he takes. So it can swing on a dime how he shoots free throws. And that's why, again, I'm not as concerned. I know it's going to be a problem. I know he's going to miss free throws, but I'm just not as concerned about him. But tonight, it was not a concern at all. Last to say, man, I thought Dame, after that first quarter, excellent. Gary Trent Jr. getting in the spots, hitting shots, excellent. Ryan Rollins got in there, play well. And Dame, the other thing, again, I want to give Dame credit, especially every time he does this. I thought his defense, first few minutes of the game, I was like, what the hell's going on? After that, I thought the effort and intensity on the defensive side of the ball from Damian Lillard was really good. So I appreciate that every time. He sticks his nose in there. And again, whether giving a triple-double or not, him to have 9 rebounds just lets you know he was active tonight, very active. None of those rebounds that were none of them fake rebounds. Dame was in there fighting to get those boards tonight, and I really appreciated the effort that we got from Damian Lillard. Good stuff from him. Bucks win at 125-96. That's a little bit what I saw. Just what'd you say?
All right, so first, before what I saw, let's go into what Doc saw tonight, man. So, and shout out to Basketball Reach in the chat too, because he must have heard Doc. Because the first thing Doc said, it's a professional win. These guys didn't touch basketballs, didn't do anything in 3 days. Second unit completely changed the tone of the entire game. I agree with that. Dame got downhill early, and everything opens up for him. And it's amazing he talks about that you got a guy like Giannis and Dame who can constantly go for 10-plus assists any night. And when they move the ball, it makes it easier for them to score too. That 6-point swing at the end of the half, Doc, there's a little bit of my words inserted in. It was just crazy. Nothing else to say about it, right? He said that our bench is really good, and everyone that comes off of that bench is a great shooter, including Bobby Portis. Those were his exact quotes. And then lastly, tomorrow morning, we got a 10 a.m. flight to LA, man. So these guys are a bunch of – hey, what I saw, though, I saw a bunch of hoopers. These guys stepped out the plane and hoop. Dame and Giannis had the worst start to a basketball game I've ever seen them have. And I'm not just talking about missing shots, missing free throws, and all that stuff. Giannis was in the wrong place defensively. He was letting rebounds go. And I think that shows the value of how important those pregame warmups are to get guys going. But the thing about it and why these guys are top 75 at 75, because Dame finished with a triple-double. I know they took the rebound from him, but he finished with a triple-double. Oh, and by the way, CeCe Sabathia threw a no-hitter for the Brewers. That was an error on Prince Fielder a million years ago. Shout out to the Hall of Fame, by the way. But this is a great thing, Trey. Our defense is now a top 10 defense in the league right now, and the offense is going up. Giannis and Dame are going up. Gary Trent Jr., what else do we need to say about this guy? Doc Rivers, our entire coaching staff, our prep staff, all the folks that travel with that team, phenomenal job tonight. Had these gentlemen ready to play and went above and beyond. I thought Tyler Hero showed he's a serious ball player, and you get the right guy with him, along with Bam and Mr. Ware, like you mentioned. That team can be pretty good. I don't think they're championship level good, but they're top 7, top 6 team in the East. It's just impressive all the way around, man. Fifth straight win, man. I mean, I don't know what else we can say about it, but it's good to be up tonight and not down, man. Everything we had going against us, including Mother Nature, I thought we weren't going to win it, and we did it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot going against you, and you get that win. You figure it out. I think that I agree 100% with Doc Rivers and what you're giving me today. What you say there, it was a professional win. That's a professional basketball win. That is a. I can't say it any better. It was 100% a professional performance tonight, because that's what professionals do. And I was ready to give them an out and give them an excuse, and they could have taken all the excuses in the world on a night like tonight, where you get in late, and you're not, or not late, but late for the game. You're missing your warm-ups and your routines and all that different stuff. You don't play basketball for 3 days, don't touch it. You couldn't even do cardio in the hotel for 3 days out in New Orleans. And so who knows? They ordering room service, getting fat, playing cards, whatever the hell you're doing out there, because you can't even go to Burger. You can't do anything when New Orleans
Gumbo.
is like, right. You're eating the gumbo, eating some fried alligator when New Orleans is locked down like that. But yeah, that's a professional way to come out and handle business and take care of it. And I definitely got scared when the game started. And I'm like, oh man, here we go again. Heroes hitting shots. We getting. I thought that we got out rebounding early to start the thing. It was crazy. But the Bucks came out and just absolutely dominated from that point on. You mentioned, I do want to talk about for a second, because you mentioned that play to end the half. Damian Lillard, the 6 points in 1.1 seconds, which was incredible. Got the foul on the 3-point shot, and it's funny. The funny part about that was I tweeted in kind of jest. I said, because you know what I say all the time, because he goes to the free throw line. There's 1 second left. I know that he'd getting the ball back. I'm like, hey, if you're in Fiserv right now, go to the bathroom, go get your hot dog, get up there, go ahead and beat everybody. He's hitting the free throws, and yeah, I'm like, man, I hope nobody listens to that, because you would have missed the Bucks getting the ball back and Dame putting a horse shot over the backboard to put that in. Crazy angle and good stuff. What you got, Justin?
Oh man, it was like a horse shot. But
Yeah.
I've been watching my brother JT. So if you're at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, that's a good time to go get one of them $3 joints, because we still on national TV tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Bucks were on national TV tonight. Even though they try to play us, from TNT and throw us on True TV. That ain't that crazy. That's the second time they've done that. And it was against the Heat when the Bucks were putting up a franchise record 3. I understand it, man. I get it, but this one I get a little bit, because it started later in the evening, and hell, we got a blowout going right now, Boston and LA. And I'll tell you, and before we get into, but this Boston is having some trouble. Boston is again. I've said, well, originally I thought, talking about how good Boston looked, but as we start to check out on this Boston team and see what they are, and before I'll get back to the Bucks in a second, but I know they've won their last 2. They're 6-4 in their last 10. I mean, they are, again, who knows? Maybe they'll come, and they really should have lost the other night. I don't know if you saw that. Was that against Toronto?
Yeah. Clippers.
The Clippers.
And the Clippers too.
Clippers. Yeah, the Clippers. Yeah, they got into overtime. I mean, so something's up with this Boston Celtics team. They don't look as good as again, when the 3-point shots are falling, all that kind of stuff. And I think the coach is a jackass anyway. But I'm not gonna get into all that. But yeah, back to the Bucks. I mean, professional win. It's good to go out and do that kind of stuff. The Miami Heat, to me, they look. I mean, again, the turmoil that's going on within that organization right now. So yeah, kick them while they're down. That's what you do to a team that's going through that, and starting a bum on Damian Lillard, playing defense on Damian Lillard with a rookie. You're not doing that. And the other thing I thought, a couple things I go to too before we get into the next topic here. But I thought that Giannis defensively on Bam, I know they got one where they called a foul. Doc challenged it, and I think he challenged it because Giannis did get the ball first. But there were about 3 instances. I know Giannis was credited for 3 blocks. There are about 3 instances at least where Bam. I mean, Giannis just had the timing down pat on the shots from Bam Adebayo. And then it goes back to, again, just Giannis hitting the jumper. And I go back and I get to it when I get to the Rose define point in a second here. But when Damian Lillard is scoring like that, notice again. We said this before. Giannis the best player. Dame most important player. Notice the Bucks were down, game close, and then when Damian Lillard turned it on from a scoring perspective, that's when the Bucks ran away with this thing. I don't know.
What'd he finish with?
Who, Dame? 29.
Yeah. 29, and that's
Yep.
3/4 of that's
Yep.
2.5 quarters of work with 29. And I mean, I think we're starting to see the guy that we traded for. And I remember starting out this year, we'd have all that Drew Holiday stuff flooding the chat and on Twitter and everywhere else about how we shouldn't have did this and did that. And now you're seeing why John Horst made that move. And that's why no matter how much I like these guys from 21, from 17, from 84, if John Horst makes a trade, I'm going to trust his basketball knowledge.
Yeah.
He's been right a lot more than he's been wrong, in my opinion. I mean, getting guys like, what's my boy from Toledo? Ryan Rollins. Getting Ryan Rollins on a flyer deal. Like, the guy's making good basketball decisions. This is a complete team win. I think that the Heat have the better coach, allegedly, and I thought Doc did a better job. There's no excuse for the Heat to get cooked like this either.
Nope.
They were sitting in Milwaukee with all the time in the world to do whatever they wanted to do, and they didn't show up, man. And no, we're not gonna cry them a river. We're not gonna feel sorry for them at all.
Nope.
All this Jimmy Butler stuff they're going through, I think it fits well. You tried to steal Giannis from us. You tried to snatch Dame from Portland, and now you're getting what you deserve.
Yeah.
Karma is a dish that's best served cold, and in the Milwaukee streets, it was cold as a fool tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Bucks shot 18 of 40 tonight. 45% from the three-point line. Miami was 12 of 51, 23% from the line. And yeah, again, when the shots are going in, the Bucks just look better. Quick Draw McGraw says, "Damn, this team looked athletic tonight." I agree, they did. And again, to me, it's not a youthful team, obviously, but whenever you can inject a little bit of youth into it, whether that's Andre Jackson Jr. in the starting lineup, whether that's Ryan Rollins coming off the bench, playing with some of the juice that you see, even a Gary Trent Jr., who, quick twitch on the three ball, and he's always poking his nose in there as well for steals on the defensive side. I thought, I can agree with that they definitely looked. Of course, you know how athletic Giannis looked. He had to bounce, springing up. And I'll say this too, Damian, no Chris Middleton tonight, but Damian Lillard, it's getting better and better when I talk about the synergy with, because remember, all year one, the first year, how many alley-oops did we see from Dame to Giannis? Not many. And even to start this year. And it's funny because you'd see Chris, who didn't play all year, but he started to get back in the game. Chris Middleton would just instantly come in, alley. It's like, damn. How do we not? Why is that not coming from? How is Dame has the ball? Damn it, more. How is that not happening? And they're starting to find it. The two-man game looks better and better. When Dame is shooting like he's shooting, Giannis is rolling to the basket. I think Giannis has been a better screener this year. I think guys are screening better for Giannis. I know AJ Green's really tried that inverted screen. It does it well. I remember, who was it that did it? They used to do a really good inverted screen. Was it Adela Vadova? I know Deli used to do a really good inverted screen. But Pat Connaughton does one too, but Pat now doesn't really play as much. But so you're starting to see some of that. There's no AJ, no AJ tonight. And Pat Connaughton did get to play, so we saw some of those inverted screens that I thought worked well. But again, I think that they're moving a lot better. And you also see this zone that I believe is going to be a staple in the playoffs, something that you really didn't see much from Bud, but you really started to see it implemented once Dr. Griffin got here, and Doc Rivers has implemented it as well. Early in games, he has no problem going zone. And I don't know. It feels like, to me, the team is communicating much better. If you remember early on the season, especially 2-8 start, whatever, there were so many, three things that I used to see that I don't see as much anymore. One, giving up as many offensive rebounds. Now, they did give up some tonight, and I saw somebody say that the Bucks, that I think they gave up 5 first chance points in the first quarter, whatever it was, and ended up with 16, whatever it was. I thought they gave up rebounds some tonight, but that's okay. Generally, they haven't done that. 2 has been, and it did happen once tonight, but 2, remember, especially last year, made basket, boom, they're right back up the court, layup, right back up the court, 3-ball. You don't see as much, and that happened to start the 2-8. You don't see as much of that. And the third thing you don't see as much of, I lost my train of thought, so I only had 2. I had 3 in my head, but I lost it. Go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
Well, not as many, and I know the Heat had a couple tonight, but not as many wide open threes. You see some of those guys rotating better to make sure they get to the wing. And even if you're just running out, putting out a hand,
Oh, I
you're at
found it.
least doing something. And
Yeah,
shout
yeah.
out to Bucks After Dark for the super tweet with the Heat fans are in shambles. That's a good thing for me to see in my seat. Go ahead, Trey.
Well, no, I was gonna say, yeah, and shout out to Bucks After Dark. You're absolutely right. Heat fans are in shambles, and as they should be. But yeah, the third thing I was gonna say was I haven't seen as many breakdown. Like you mentioned it, you talked about the three wide open 3 pointers. I'm talking about breakdowns in communication on the defensive side of the ball, 3 pointers, and just open basket cuts, layups to the basket, all that. So those are the three things I've really started to see that have changed from last year, early into this season, and into now, and it has really made a difference and changed this basketball team. Dustin Sontag says, got to talk Trent into staying next year so we can give him a bigger contract year 3 like we did with Portis. I don't think you're going to. I listen, I would love it. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. Again, let me say this. There are some ways, Gary, I'll say this. You'd love to see Gary Trent. I think the only way you see Gary Trent back is if, unfortunately, it would have to be a bad end to the year to see Gary Trent back. And while I say that, when I mean that would, I think, mean Chris is gone. That I think would mean Brook Lopez is gone. But you'd have to free up a lot of contract space because that man is going to get he's about to get paid. You saw Malik Beasley again, but here's the thing though, Justin and chat. Gary Trent Jr. is doing exactly what he came here to do and what John Horst picked him up in free agency to do. There's another Gary Trent Jr. waiting. Just like Gary Trent Jr. is he's doing what Malik Beasley came here to do. Malik Beasley came here and shot threes like he was supposed to and went to Detroit and got paid. Gary Trent Jr. is coming to Milwaukee on a minimum deal, and he's getting the open looks, and he is making himself money. It's highly unlikely that Gary Trent will be back just because he has earned a big deal. He has earned it. He's earned 15, 16, 17 million dollars a year going into next year. That's what he's earned. Bucks won't have that unless they free up some space somewhere.
So who do we have coming off the books at the end of this year? Is it Pat, Bobby, Brooke, and then Chris has an opt-in?
Bobby and Chris both have opt-ins. Brooke, I believe you can get out of. I believe Brooke you can get out of. I'm not sure. And Pat actually has another year too.
Well, so this is the thing. Like, and I'm all for keeping Gary Trent because I think he's a little bit better than some of those other guys we mentioned, Malik Beasley, Grayson Allen, some of the guys that we were talking about the other night with Chris King. Because I mean, it's his ability to take the ball off the dribble. He can be an emergency ball handler if you need him, and he's had a great year. But I want to give a lot of shout out to Pat Connaughton tonight. I thought he came in and played good professional minutes, good passes, good defense. He had a couple bonehead decisions. That's going to happen. But I thought Pat, for sitting for as long as he sat this year, he came in and played good basketball, man. I thought it was a complete team win. And if this team plays like this, I'm not scared of anybody in this NBA. And I think they have the capabilities to even play better the healthier Middleton continues to get.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bucks After Dark says Delly was awful. Delly was awful some, but he set great inverted screens, and I'll never forget Delly for that. Was that against Boston in the series where he got the steal at the end of the quarter and he had the scoop layup? Or was that against Chicago? What series was that? I can't remember what series that was where Delly had the scoop layup to end the quarter, and I think it was in the Bradley. Maybe it might have been Toronto. I remember one of the series, and I was in there, and Bradley went crazy when he did that. Bucks After Dark, and shout out to Bucks After Dark super chat. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I don't normally do this. One of these nights, it's aptly named. The West Coast trip is coming up. Bucks After Dark, get in touch with me. Let's have you on one of those Bucks After Dark nights. Because we're gonna have some fun after dark with this West Coast trip coming up. So hit me up and let's get you on one of these nights, at least for 20 minutes, something like that. Have some fun. He says though, could you guys see the Bucks? Could you guys see the Bucks? Someone getting the 2 seed. I don't know. Celtics looking very beatable as of late. # fire Jason Kidd. Okay, so you didn't have to go that far. See, you didn't have to go fire Jason Kidd. By the way, the Mavericks, short-handed Mavericks, no Luka, no Derek Lively, all that, just beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. How about that? Talking about fire Jason Kidd. But I think he's just saying, could you see the Bucks getting the 2 seed. Let me just see how far back the Bucks are. I'll check one more time. Justin, you can go ahead and answer that. I'll tell you. Give me
Yeah,
1 second. I'll tell you how far the
I,
Bucks back
I'm
are.
gonna,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I think that I can see the Bucks getting a 2 seed. I think we're like 5 or 6 games back, but I think that the basketball guys are going to catch up with the Celtics. Al Horford can only be old man River finding a fountain of youth, but so many seasons it has to slow down. We all know that Porzingis has the injury history that he has. Derek White just, in fact, isn't that good of a basketball player in NBA terms, and he was riding the fluke thing, and he shouldn't have been on the Olympic team or any of that other stuff. And maybe that stuff's starting to play into it. Drew Holiday's getting a little bit long in the tooth. So things are starting to catch up with the Boston Celtics. This Bucks team just has to keep playing and beating the teams that are in front of them like they're doing. And the sky is the limit, man. You know, and the funny thing about our chat, man, is all them negative dudes. We can't find them anymore.
Where they at?
The Nets
Where they
dude, the Sixers dude. But yeah, Bucks After Dark. Yeah, I agree with Trey, man. You being on here would be great, man. But you know, hey, man, I'm a big Jason Kidd fan, man. I thought he was great for Milwaukee. I thought we did him dirty when we got rid of him. And I always hope the best for him. He's my favorite player that was not a Milwaukee Buck.
Bucks After Dark says, I wish the girl would be as ride or die for me as Trey is for Jason Kidd, man. Shout out to Jay Kidd. He was out there. He great player. And again, proving to be a very good NBA head coach. Even though he had a shake, I'll agree with you. Had somewhat of a shaky start. But again, I don't mind AJ Johnson. I'm not sitting here crying because he can't hit a layup. I know it's gonna take some time. Rookie players, rookie head coaches, you gotta give them some time to figure it out. And he had a young basketball team and really enhanced the Milwaukee Bucks and from where they started, especially from what you saw from Larry Drew. Larry Drew is who you should be talking about as you're talking about with Jason Kidd. Shout out to Chris King saying, get the likes up, chat. The likes should go up in a game like this, 125 nights. I'm pumped. 5-game win streak from where this season started. You are 25-17. You are 8 games over 500. You are winning now right back at a 60% clip. You can sit here and talk about Doc Rivers as a legitimate head coach and not have to hang your head in shame. I saw the man. They had Lamar Jackson in Doc Rivers' face on Lamar Jackson memes going out last week after what happened with the Ravens and all that kind of stuff. Listen, Doc Rivers is not a bad coach. Doc Rivers is not a bad basketball coach. He had some bums with issues, and aren't we seeing it? Aren't we seeing he got the short end of the stick?
I think so.
Chris Paul and Blake Griffin ain't like they went somewhere else and won nothing outside of Doc Rivers. What happened? They weren't ready. They weren't dogs and couldn't go win. You think Joel Embiid's winning? You think it's a coach that's changing Joel Embiid into anything? No, Nick Nurse can't do nothing with. He don't like basketball. And you expected Doc Rivers to go win a championship with a guy who don't like basketball? Sorry. Who's hurt every 5 seconds? Come on, man. It's not Doc's fault. It's not Doc's fault. That's all I'm saying. So again, let's just be honest here. Doc Rivers has done a great job with this basketball team. And again, you see he's trying different things. He's trying to get the guys ready to go, playing younger guys. I think somebody's saying to put in Tyler Smith. We'll see. I don't think that's going to happen just yet. But he's shooting the ball well. But again, I love the future prospects when we talk about Tyler Smith as well.
And AJ Johnson killing it in the G League too. But Doc, from the way this team started, here you go, hot take. Go ahead and record this. I think Doc should be in the Coach of the Year candidate discussion.
Ooh.
I mean, we were the worst team. We were the punchline for everyone. And hey, real quick, Charles Barkley got to be the worst analyst ever for his all-star stuff tonight. Like, he's a great dude. He knows a lot about the game. But Chuck, what the hell are we doing with Giannis not starting and Dame not even on the team? But anyway, sorry. I got distracted when I thought about it. But we were the punchlines of their jokes. Kendrick Perkins would get on TV and talk trash about us. What's your boy that said we were 7 seed? The shooter, Legler.
Yeah,
now,
Tim Legler, yeah.
This team is slowly turning into the team you don't want to see once playoff time comes around.
Oh, yeah, you definitely don't want to see it. What LeBron say? If I walk into your building, it's gonna be tough. I don't care who Giannis walks in with. It's gonna be it's gonna be a very tough time. If you see Giannis in a 7-game series. I forgot. I didn't answer Bucks After Dark question about this. Can he get to the 2 seed? So right now the Bucks are 5 games back. Lakers from Boston. The Lakers are down. What's that? About 15 points right now in the third quarter as Austin Reeves misses a 3. So we'll see if they lose that game, you'll be 4.5 games back. It will be tough. It's going to be tough for the Bucks to get to that 2 seed. 41 games with maybe they're 5.5 games back, whatever it is from Boston. It's not doable. And the Bucks playing the way I definitely think they can get. Obviously, they're 2.5 games back from New York. The 3 seed is definitely up for grabs. But yeah, you can definitely get there the way they're playing. I know people saying the schedule is a beast, but the way these Bucks are playing, they look good. King says Dame is balling. Will Lindquist says the Bucks are balling and was fun to see this one live. So I don't know if you were there, but let us know how the atmosphere was. But yeah, no.
And one thing.
Go ahead.
One thing with the standings, just remember, for every game back of Boston and New York they're an extra game ahead of us because they both swept us in the regular season too.
Okay. Good. Right. Good point. Because you're right. The Bucks are 0-8 against the top 3 in the conference. So you're correct about that. But yeah, I think it's there. But again, I'm not as much worried about what the seed is. I think at this point your floor is 4. So you're fine if you're there. Again, you can look at Detroit creeping up a game out of 5th place, which would be a fun matchup. I'll say this too, and I know as soon as every show, it's so crazy. Every time I'm like, you know what, this ain't gonna be a long show. And we're 30 minutes in before we get to the second topic. But again, it's fun. We get into different stuff and it's always entertaining every time. But and you guys make it. But I do want to say, going back to your point about Chuck and the list, did you notice? Did any of those guys have Damian Lillard in their reserves?
Kenny did.
Kenny had Dame.
DJ did, and Shaq did.
Oh, they all had Dame.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Chuck didn't have Dame. And Chuck had Giannis backup. Chuck had Giannis' reserve and didn't have Dame in reserves at all.
Correct. He's better than that.
I have I don't know why I think he deserves it. I just have a sneaky feeling that I would not be surprised if Damian Lillard gets left off of the All-Star. I just would not be surprised because your guards you're looking at, right? LaMelo. I think LaMelo's got to make it. They're gonna put Cade in. Mitchell. I think Dame is better than Garland, but you have Garland there. Brunson.
Trae Young. How many guards are left? I mean, yeah, I have a sneaky feeling that they're going to try to leave Dame off this, and they shouldn't. I have a sneaky feeling they're going to try to leave him off the All-Star game. There was something I can't find it right now.
Says Levine as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't. Dame, All-Star game's coming up. Dame needs to have a monster weekend. I don't know when the coaches vote or whatever, but Dame needs to have a monster weekend. There's no way he should be left off the list. There's no way. He's been too good. And again, if you put the numbers side by side, he's been just as good as Brunson. He's been better than Trae Young. Again, just because Trae Young is a showman and he rolls fake dice at the middle of Madison Square doesn't mean that he should be an all-star over Damian Lillard. That's all I'm saying.
So Dame had a player rank of 8.
Right? Can you believe that? The players had him at 8? That's what I'm saying. The players had him at 8.
Fans had him at 4. Media had him at 5.2. Media had him at 5. His weighted score comes out to 5.25.
How many guards were in front of him then?
And then you have in front of him, you have Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, Jalen Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell. Brunson and Mitchell are starting, so that leaves Trae Young and LaMelo Ball in front of him. Cade Cunningham is tied with him at the 5.25, and then Darius Garland is at a 6.
Okay, how many guys are gonna make? How many guards are gonna make it though?
That's a good.
Well, I guess you can go whatever with your reserves. I guess it doesn't matter.
But remember, you're playing that new 5-on-5 or 3.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero might make it too.
Tyler's had a good first. That'd be a travesty if Tyler Hero makes it over Damian Lillard. I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna try to do that. I feel like they're going to try to play with Dame like that. But again, that would just
How is
serve to motivate him. I know that much if they did that.
and Paolo's 4 and he's missed almost half the first half of the season? That's wild to me, man.
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
say your best ability is?
Availability. Bucks After Dark. Another super chat. Hey, shout out to Bucks After Dark with these super chats tonight. Gary Trent was looking like
He cashing out.
Bryn Forbes tonight. Yeah, man. Hey, he's cashing out now. Gary Trent like prime Bryn Forbes tonight. Yeah, so I mean, Bryn Forbes, didn't he get a sexual assault? Didn't he get a sexual misconduct?
Who is that guy? Bryn Forbes.
Yeah, you know Bryn Forbes.
Oh, you mean that dude that outscored Jimmy?
Yeah.
The dude outscored the dude that half the dudes want to trade for in a playoff series for the Bucks role player?
Yeah, that guy. He did do that. That is true. King says this is why the Bucks need another scoring threat. Zach LaVine or Jordan Poole. Chris is not having the Bucks nothing. I think he's saying not giving the Bucks nothing. Disagree on. See, to me, Jordan Poole is the name that you guys put up there with Bradley Beal. That's the Bradley Beal name to me. That, like, everybody's like, hell no, in any possible way. Jordan Poole's the guy I can't talk myself into. Jordan Poole's the guy I cannot talk myself into at all. At all. I cannot. I don't want. That is the guy. I could talk myself into Bradley Beal. I can talk myself into Jimmy Buckets. I can talk myself into into Zach LaVine. I can't talk myself into Jordan Poole. I cannot do it. Let's stay there though. And because this will kind of get us to travel delays. Because I do want to talk about for a second about travel delays, but this will get us to it because Chris Middleton doesn't play. So you have 3 days off where you're not doing anything, and you come back and Chris Middleton is just out. Is that a problem? Do you see that as a problem? Do you have any issue with that at all? Does that? I'm not saying a problem because I get it. I'm not. I guess my question is, do you see that as a durability issue?
No, I just see it as the Bucks being overly cautious with this guy, and I would take overly cautious versus having this guy get re-injured again. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to trade him. Obviously, we've talked about it on the trade show last night. I'm not one of them. But that if he is going to be traded, you can't trade the guy hurt. And who's to say with him being up in that hotel room, but we don't know what type of treatment they get on the road. I mean, I'm sure the Bucks have a phenomenal medical staff, but if those ankles tightened up or anything like that, they tighten. Well, I can't say they tighten up for being out there in that cold weather because, I mean, he lives in Milwaukee. So I just think take it easy with him, get him back, and he'll continue to get buckets. But at some point, he's going to have to play more or else – like, he's not going to be able to get that synergy, and then we may have these lulls when he comes back. My biggest thing is I want Chris to come back. And I said it last night, and y'all thought I was joking, but I was as serious as a heart attack. I want to win a championship this year, and I want Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez to retire as Bucks as champions. It doesn't get any better than that, in my opinion.
I'd love to see it, but I guarantee you they will not. Bucks win a championship. They will not retire. They will come back looking like they will come out with their hands out looking for more money. That's what happens. Hey, we just won another chip. I think you should re-up us for another 2-3 years and cash us out. That's how that's gonna go. I can assure you. Alpha Rucamino for 3 says get the likes up. I agree with him. Get the likes up. Tell a friend about the Cream City crossover. Tell people to get in the room. That's what you can do right now. 100%. Did you think? Did you think?
I'll be laughing at the chat. I'm sorry, dog.
No,
King of King. He said Chris was balling tonight. Lord have mercy, man.
Yeah,
people killing the dude, man.
Yeah, I know it. And quick, John McGraw. This is the problem. I know Bucks After Dark. It says Chris has been healthy for the last 2 playoffs, which is all that matters. Quick, John McGraw says I can't believe people think Chris is going to play 30-35 minutes in 20+ high leverage playoff games. That's my concern about Chris Middleton. That's my concern, and I've said it over and over. That's my concern is, do I think that for 20+ games every other night in the playoffs that he can go 35, 36, 37, 38 minutes, maybe 40+ if necessary? And again, to me, your third best player needs to be doing that. You could probably get away with it against their first round matchup right now be Indiana. So you know what? Maybe it doesn't have to be 20+ games because you could probably get away with it against Indiana. That next matchup though would be the one you'd be playing probably if you're the 4, you're playing the Cavaliers in the second round. Yeah, I need you for 40 minutes. I need my top 3 guys for 40 minutes. I don't know. And every series after that, it's going to be Cleveland, that's going to be Boston most likely, or New York. You need your top 3 guys for 40-plus minutes during those in those series. And then let's say it's OKC. Let's say it's whoever. Every series after round 1, depending on as long as you finish top 4, most likely you will need your starter. You will need your third best player playing 35-plus minutes every single one of those games. So
again, now I'm going to disagree with you.
You don't think so?
I think if Gary Trent Jr. and AJ Green can shoot the ball at a phenomenal high level like they've been doing this year, there's a chance where you can stagger Chris's minutes a little bit less and keep him for those high pressure things. I mean, it's all going to depend on those role players. If they play above their basketball card like they have on this since we became 25 and 17 and start really cooking, I think we get by with less Chris minutes. But I do agree with you. We're going to need them last 4 to 5 minutes a game, every game after the first round.
Yeah. And I know you can stagger and get it going that way, but I still think defensively, and we'll talk about this. He cannot. But the other thing is, yeah, I want him 40 minutes a game. We need him the last 5 minutes a game. He is most likely. I have not seen anything that tells me otherwise. He is going to be a liability defensively, and that was something that we have never said about Chris Middleton before. Is that Chris Middleton is going to be a liability on the defensive end. If you bring Chris Middleton into a game, last 5 minutes of a game, he's going to be a liability defensively. We've never had to say that before. So everybody talking about 2021 Chris Middleton, I never said it. I really didn't say it last year about Chris Middleton. But that's kind of where things are right now when I look at him. Quick drama Ross says if AJ Green is playing heavy minutes, something has gone very wrong. And again, I think AJ Green, great player. He's gonna be one of those guys that you're gonna try him out, see how he's playing every single night from a shooting perspective. But I think there gonna be some nights in the playoffs where he don't have it. And that's just type of player. When you're that's volatility of being a jump shooter. There's gonna be some nights where if you leave him in there, he's gonna be 2 for 12. There'll be good shots. There'll be 12 good shots. But sometimes, he's not hitting every time he steps on the floor. And Gary Trent, same thing.
Well, but that's where Gary Trent and Dame that are jump shooters as well can still get you past because they could get off the dribble and get a layup. The thing about that really concerns me about AJ Green, and he's a great basketball player in terms of NBA for his role. But the thing that really scares me about him is his shots when they're off, they're a smidgen off, but they're off. And they're good shots, like you said. He can't really get to the layup or get to the mid-range to get a bucket the way those guys can do to kind of check themselves and get going, man. So, hey man, we're definitely going to need Chris Middleton. I hope those ankles are healing. I hope he's getting better. And I hope he's ready for a long playoff push, man, because I heard Milwaukee's great around June, July, man. Love to go up there, hang out with the Guru, go to a parade, and go to Summerfest, man, and have all y'all come out there with us, man. Let's do it.
Sounds like a great time had by all. Basketball says keep Chris and get him on a pay cut next extension because all he wants to do is stay here. That's something you could think about too. Again, it would have to be a massive pay cut. I mean, like half of what he's making, which I think that would make that worth your while. Again, but it also depends on how he plays. So we'll see how he plays in the postseason and make some determinations from there. And then it depends. Does he need another surgery in the next offseason? I don't know. You never know how that goes. Let's keep rolling. I want to ask you this before we keep moving on with this stuff. The travel delays. Did you have a problem with this game being played? Again, I feel like hindsight 2020 now. Play it. Go ahead. But I was I didn't like what was going to happen early on. It seemed like, again, the Bucks were adamant they wanted to play, and the Miami Heat wanted to play again, but it sounded like that was more schedule-wise because, again, the schedules are packed tight second half, and then, you'd have to find a date to make that work and make that game up because the Bucks are already going to have to make up a game against the Pelicans. So it seemed like they were really pressed to get this game off. Did you think there was any issues in playing the game, especially the way this happened with the Bucks not having any contact mobility, whatever, for the last 3 days, and then getting in a little 2 hours before the game started?
Yeah, so I didn't want to play the game, right? I tweeted it out that I felt like this isn't an AAU team. This is a professional basketball team that needs a stretch, that needs their treatment, that needs all that other stuff. We talk about it, and I saw some guys on Twitter tweet that, we did that in AAU. We did that coming up in middle school and high school. Yeah, but the difference is basketball was just a sport for us then. It wasn't our living. This is this guy's livelihood. If Chris Middleton walks out there and tears something again, God forbid, he's gone for the year, and then we lose it because of some fluky thing. Yeah, I'm happy that we played the game and that we won the game. Had we had lost the game, I'd be pissed because, like, was it Basketball Reach or was it someone else? Bucks After Dark. Sorry, Bucks After Dark mentioned, could we get to that 2 seed? Every one of these games going forward, because of our 2-8 start, it's important to getting to a 3 seed, a 2 seed. So absolutely, I was frustrated with it. I'm glad that the Bucks overcame it. Like I said in the beginning, and what we saw, shout out to Doc, shout out to that coaching staff, shout out to that medical staff, shout out to the nutritionist. Everyone in that Milwaukee Bucks organization did a great job to get that done, and I just think it's phenomenal the way it turned out. But I was completely against it to start.
I echo that. I'm saying right there with you on that. Let's talk about roles, and I wanted to get to that for a second as well tonight. But let's talk about you guys doing your role. You know what you can do, but you know what these people can do out here by doing their role. The role that the Cream City crossover viewers, you know, their role is, Justin.
Go out to Curly's, drink that boy out them $3 joints.
Getting out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lake Pewaukee. Out there, have some fun, enjoy yourself. $3 bottles and pints during all Milwaukee Bucks televised games. Wednesday night, Thursday night, what they doing, Justin?
They doing $3. Oh, they doing trivia.
Yeah, they're doing bingo on Wednesdays. They're doing trivia Thursdays. And if you do well bingo, you do well in trivia. What can you tell? What can people get, Justin?
Some great Bucks tickets.
Great Bucks tickets. Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. Get your tickets. Get there. And again, man, just have some fun. Enjoy yourself. Some good wings, good food. Do some bingo, do some trivia. Get out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them Cream City Crossover sent you. Proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Bucks After Dark said he was at Curly's last weekend. How was it? And did you tell the people that Cream City Crossover got you out there? So yeah, make sure you get out to Cream City Crossover, man. Make sure you get out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. But I wanted to ask you about roles. And the crazy thing is, Dame shut me up tonight because I was going to talk about the role I really wanted to talk about was his role scoring. And then, of course, he fills the stat sheet, so it kind of blew my whole everything I wanted to say. Medical Drug Dealer says, can we win the tickets online? No. You got to go to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill in person. You got to play trivia. You got to play bingo in person. That's how you win these tickets. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, Lake Pewaukee, Wisconsin. The roles. Where I was going with it was Damian Lillard to me. So Giannis is a stat sheet stuffer. So I'm going to say tonight, notwithstanding, because Dame stuffed the stat sheet as well, 29, 11, and 9 rebounds officially, doesn't get the credit with the triple-double. This team goes as far as he scores. So Giannis can have off games, and when I say off, it's probably not much players, but he can have those games where because his averages are 30, right? 25 is below his average. But he can have a game where he has 25. He has, 16 rebounds and 8 assists and 4 blocks and a couple steals, and he's doing hustle play, doing all that stuff. Damian Lillard doesn't have as much of that in his game, and so to me, Damian Lillard, he was brought, because I think playmaking. Damian Lillard was brought to Milwaukee to score. That's what he was brought here for. And so I hate when he's not aggressive. I hate the games where he's not looking for a shot. He should always be looking to get to the basket, get to the rim, get to the cup, or pull the three, pull the mid. Whatever shot you want to take, that's what Damian Lillard needs to be doing. And again, tonight, I tweeted out, I said, not disappointed because I understand the circumstances, but when Dame gets going, this game is over. And it wasn't too long after that. I mean, again, you see it. There are not many guys, like as great as Giannis is, it's very hard for Giannis to do what Damian Lillard did to end the first half like that. That's not really in his game. 6 points in a second and a half, in 1 second, you're not going to see that from me. It takes too much to get him going. He's not that, but Damian Lillard with the flick of a wrist can really do that. Can get to the line, knock down all 3, high leverage shot, tough shot, fall away from the corner at a difficult angle. That is Damian Lillard. And so those moments, he has to live for them, and he has to know that they are his, and we are living and dying by everything that he shoots. Remember, in the quarter, I want him to. That's why, end of the game, I don't want you passing to whoever's in the corner and they're trying to get. Because I'd rather Damian Lillard take the shot fading away from the baseline And I will live with whether he hits or misses that shot versus drive to the basket, let me kick to Giannis at the corner. I'm going to kick to Bobby. Because, again, everybody else is looking for you to take the shot. They're trying to go crash the boards. So it's really about the scoring for me for Damian Lillard. That's always going to be more important than rebounds, assists, anything else he does. It's scoring the basketball. And, again, if Damian Lillard can consistently, I know he put up 29 a night. If that's where he is in the playoffs, oh, my God, watch out. The Bucks are dangerous.
And like we said earlier, that's in like almost 2.5 quarters with that 29, which is even more insane by the guy. But I do think we need to pay a little bit of credence to what Doc said as far as with those guys getting downhill and passing the ball opens up their offensive game. But I do agree with you wholeheartedly that at the end of the game, we need Damian Lillard to be Dame time, to be the dude that's laying on the ground looking at the camera while everyone else is going crazy when he hit that shot against, what was it, OKC and Paul George and the boys?
Yeah, bad shot.
Yeah, and he is one of the best shooters in all time of the NBA history. He's one of the best scorers in all time of the NBA history as well. He's him. We're not saying he's 2 or 3, but he's got to be in that upper half versus the lower half. And that's what he's here to do. I just think that a lot of the stuff we really didn't know, and I watched a lot of Dame in Portland but we really did not appreciate his passing ability. He's a great passer of the basketball, but I need you to be passing that ball to maybe a Giannis for a wide open dunk at the end of the game. If not, you take it. But in talking about roles, I think we see this executed so much in the Milwaukee Bucks games, right? If Bobby's not playing outside of Bobby's role, he doesn't look like half the Twitter wants to trade him. If AJ Green isn't trying to do too much, if Gary Trent Jr., if Brooke isn't doing too much, everybody plays their role. And this is a championship basketball team. If you get outside of your role and we get outside our bodies, start trying to go crazy, that's when we lose. Dame said it in a post-game interview. When this team is clicking and everybody's in their role, this team can beat anybody in the league. But when we don't play like that, we can be beat by anybody. And I think this is a perfect example tonight off of, what was it, hour and bunch of minutes to get there, provided you driving through the snow and everything like that. They got there, they showed up, and they did well. And I'm excited, man. Can't wait to the Clippers game this weekend.
And correct, you're going to get your requisite number of shots up based upon the gravity of Dame and Giannis and those guys. But again, it's going to draw off. Yes, and those guys will hit, but Dame has got to make. That's all I'm saying. Dame's got to be going as well because again, Gary Trent hitting those shots when he came in, it turned around. But the Bucks don't. To me, what I'm trying to say, they don't really pull away until Dame is almost like that. What you put in the car I don't know. I'm not a car guy like that. What's that? Is that NOS? Yeah, whatever. What all that nitro, whatever the hell you put up in that car and make that thing go. That he's that puts you right over the top. To win and race with anybody. David Morgan says K, but Giannis has also been hurt more often than not in the playoffs lately as well, talking about Giannis being hurt. And he has, but again, I do think some of that came from, I think he overexerts himself sometimes in the regular season. Again, that's why, I get back to you need everybody available so he's not having to play these heavy minutes. And again, there's a risk this year as well. I'm glad in the last couple games he hasn't had to play in the fourth quarter with these blowouts. So he only played a little over under 32 minutes. Tonight. So that was definitely a positive. Let's keep rolling. Game balls tonight. We wrote. So it took us 40 minutes to get to the second topic. But after we did that, we started to move here. Game balls tonight. My game balls will go to Dame. I mean, again, sucks you didn't get the triple double, which would be I think his fourth triple double of all time. He only gets 9 rebounds to take it away from him. But you will get this game ball, 29, 11, 9, 2 steals for all things mentioned. And again, what I like the most about tonight from Damian Lillard is how many times have we seen him start slow and it doesn't translate into the rest of the game, or he kind of keeps that energy, that attitude, or whatever it is. Tonight, didn't let it affect him. Wasn't the best of shooting nights, 9 of 21, 42%, 5 of 14 from 3. But again, I like to see 21 attempts. I actually like, somewhere between Giannis and Dame, it's going to be, you're going to give and take. But those two guys need to be top of the shot, the field goal attempts list every single night for the most part. So I'm glad that you saw that. And again, he got up shots. He was aggressive. He showed the burst getting to the rim. Damian Lillard gets my game ball tonight.
Give out one more for JT while you at it.
Okay. JT would probably throw it to Gary Trent Jr. Because Gary Trent Jr. took seven hit 7 threes tonight, 7 for 11, 17 from the 3-point line. Did exactly what he was supposed to do, and everybody's talking about in the chat is gonna get himself paid. So I got game ball Dame Lillard. We're gonna give an honorary JT game ball to Gary Trent Jr.
So I got to think in the words of, I got to think of Chris King and get into that Dayton mind for a second. So I would guess Chris King would probably go big Giannis on this one. Just control the tempo and everything.
Yeah.
I think he may give a look to Ryan Rollins and to Brook Lopez as well, because I think all those guys played their role well tonight. But I'm going to go with Giannis for Chris King's game ball. And then my game ball is going to go to the coaching staff.
Okay.
And all the auxiliary people that go along with that team that made sure this team, despite all the circumstances, was ready to play a great basketball game tonight, despite everything. So hats off to the Milwaukee Bucks from top to bottom for this win tonight.
That's a well-earned game ball. I think that and probably overlooked in a lot of places. I think you're correct. You know, getting this team prepared and ready to go under the circumstances, definitely game ball worthy tonight. Let's take a look around the association. Bucks win 125-96. The Lakers are up right now. There was a time I think Boston had got it down to 12 in a third, but they are down. I believe this is ninth. They're down 20 points right now. 88-68 to the 88-68 to the LA Lakers. So I don't think they're going to get there. 10 minutes to go, about 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Warriors are up 105-83 over the Bulls right now. National Blowout Association, 76-54. Clippers up over the Wizards. The Paris game where Wemby, just dominated stretches that game, 140-110 over the Pacers. Pacers are, again, I know they got into on the win streak, got a little better, but I just don't think this is the same team as last year. Trailblazers 101-79. Magic had everybody back. Has the magic worn off? This voodoo magic that the Orlando Magic had going. Everybody back. Paolo back. Franz Wagner back. You lose to the Trailblazers. Is that at home? Lose the Trailblazers at home? Ooh, by 20? I don't know.
Paolo's an all-star.
Yeah, I don't know, Orlando. Raptors beat the Hawks tonight, 122-119. How about Jason Kidd and those Dallas Mavericks getting a win? Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie giving you 28. Good stuff there. Beating Oklahoma. Did OKC have everybody? Yeah, Shea had 31. Jalen Williams had 33. Oh yeah. They had Lou Dort. It was in the air. Everybody's in there, and so that's a very good win for the Dallas Mavericks on the road. And then the Denver Nuggets 132-123 over the Kings. Kings were 10-1 over their last 11 games, and of course the one loss was to the Bucks, but they dropped one to the Nuggets as well. Nuggets, are 28-16, so they've picked it up as well. Medical drug dealers says any trade updates? No. I don't have any. I haven't seen any other updates. We talked about some yesterday, but haven't seen anything. Of course, we know Jimmy Butler's been suspended for a couple games. That's what I'll go. I'm gonna look around now, and then I'll let it go. Did you see? So Jimmy Butler's suspended for not taking the team flight. Of course, he wasn't in Milwaukee obviously tonight. He's been wearing Phoenix colored shoes over the past couple games. And then I wanted to ask you, did you see the exchange on the NBA inside the NBA with Shaq and Charles Barkley tonight, where Shaq was basically, I don't know. Sometimes I think he was playing a little devil's advocate, where he, but he was making the point. And again, so I think people didn't like what Shaq was saying about Jimmy Butler, kind of giving him the excuse. But I do believe that Shaq, whether you think he was being devil's advocate or being serious, I do think he explained Jimmy Butler's perspective well. Like I think that is the thought process of Jimmy Butler is look at what all I've done for you. I want an extension. Oh, you're not giving me an extension? Okay, so you don't want me. Well, guess what? I don't want you either. And there's this question of do you really have to fulfill? I'm not saying do you have to, but I guess maybe I could phrase that better. There is this question that looms regarding whether or not if you're finishing out your contract that you have to give it all. that you cannot start negotiating in the middle of a contract, or that do you have to do that, or are you okay saying, you know what, we know where we're at, we know we're at a crossroads, let me go and find me somewhere else that I can play. Um, where do you? I mean, do you think Jimmy Butler is being a jerk in this situation? Do you think it's Pat Riley and the Heat? Have they mismanaged it? Is this Pat Riley and Heat's fault because they should have seen this coming in advance? Like, where does the blame lie when you look at this? And again, now he had a 7-game suspension earlier. He's now at a 2-game suspension. This is not going to end well if they're not able to trade him. And they're having a hard time facilitating a trade, and they don't want to just take nothing back, which again is very, like you mentioned early in the show, very interesting, because you wanted Portland to just give you Damian Lillard just because, snap your fingers, hey, we should have him. That's not how it works. And now you're seeing what a disgruntled star looks like, and you don't want to just give him to whoever the hell you want to give him. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I think it's twofold, right? Like, first of all, people talk about why the ratings of the NBA are down and stuff like that. And we could probably look at this stuff with guys not honoring out their contracts and forcing their way out of contracts. And that turns off. And I'm not saying yourself or myself or our chat friends, but you got to think about your Joe that's a plumber down the street who's going to work every day, sick if he has COVID, whatever the case may be. And he's fixing these people's houses because he has to do that to put food on his table. Then you look at a guy like I see Bucks After Dark just called Jimmy a diva in the chat, and it comes off really diva like, oh, I'm not going to pay for my $48 million or $50 million contract because I'm upset at you. Now, I see that side of it. I also see the other side. We're talking about Pat Riley, who has traded Shaquille O'Neal when he was doing everything he could do for that team. He traded Dwayne Wade. They used to call it Wade County. That's just crazy. So, but I think the thing that Jimmy has to understand, and all these guys have to understand, it's a business. You're getting paid a handsome salary. Just go ahead and honor it and request your trade behind closed doors. And hopefully Pat will honor it. But I think there is 50% of Miami Heat and their administration, and it's specifically Pat Riley, and the other 50% is on Jimmy himself. But we've seen this with Pat where if you don't do it his way, you hit the highway, and no one's excluded from that.
So you're giving it 50-50 blame. Yeah, Bucks After Dark saying Jimmy's a diva, lost happiness, getting paid millions to play basketball. Yeah, I'm somewhat in agreement. I really can't tell you who I blame more. Jimmy definitely does look bad. Jimmy looks bad in the situation. There's no question about it. To me, Jimmy looked like, and again, it's one thing to complain, and it's one thing to make things hard on guys. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you causing tension in a locker room or making things uncomfortable. What I have a problem with is, why the hell are you showing up with Phoenix color? I mean, with different color shoes on from a different team. That just is that's come on, man. That's beneath you as a guy. You're supposed to begin your whole playoff Jimmy. That's your thing. I'm playoff Jimmy. I'm the playoff Jimmy, a guy that has that type of a nickname and that type of respect and credibility around the league. That's not how you handle that situation. Now, again, if you want to act a fool up in practice and cuss everybody out and say, hey, nah, put me. I want who was that? Was that Jimmy went with? I want to play with the third team, and we're gonna take the third team. We're gonna whoop everybody else's ass in here, and then I'm gonna do an interview. And you want to do that kind of stuff? I really don't have a problem with that. But when you go out on the floor, and then you go out on the floor and you pass the ball every time you get the ball, you just pass it. You don't really give no. You still gotta play like that. That's my thing about it. You want to make everybody uncomfortable, fine, but you gotta go out and play. And right now he looks stupid, looks like a diva. And again, I'm not absolving Miami either from any of this. But again, Jimmy's the player. He looks stupid as well. But it's a really bad situation. It's a bad look.
You got to compete, man. He's not competing. He quit on his team, and that's why I want to keep that dude as far. I don't even want him to come to Milwaukee on a road team right now. I don't want him anywhere. Don't come to Milwaukee County. Don't come to Waukesha. Don't come to Racine, Kenosha. Just stay down there. As far as you can go is Gurney, bro. You can't come any further up north than that, man. He's just, hey, is he super talented? Is he a great player? Absolutely, at one point in his career. But I just don't think we have any room in Milwaukee. I don't know how Phoenix is going to do it, but for a guy that's going to come there, and if he's proven it over and over again, like Chris King said the other day, if he does not get his way, this is what he does. It's a spoiled child syndrome to me.
Yeah. And again, I do think, for what it's worth, I think if he goes to Phoenix, I think Jimmy Butler will be on his best behavior. Because again, at the end of the day, he wants another contract. So the reason he feels like he can act this way in Miami is they've already told him they're not giving it to him. So it's like, that's where, and again, that's what Shaq was talking about. That's where it's coming from. I believe if he thought he was getting another contract, you would see best behavior Jimmy all day long. I think he would do all those things and be a consummate professional. But once you've already been informed, you're not getting another deal. Now he's like, okay, screw it. You don't care. I don't care. So again, for what it's worth, I do think you send him to Phoenix. I think he's going to compete and be a model citizen. I don't think he's going to miss the memo for what time the plane's leaving. Like I don't think that's going to be a thing out there in Phoenix. Bucks win at 125-96 over the Heat.
Let me ask you one more question on Jimmy. Sorry, I don't mean to prolong this. I typically do that. The shows go long because I keep talking.
No, go ahead.
But how many more contract extensions and max deals does this guy really think? What is he, 36? So
yeah, he wants one more. I think he wants one more. I think he thinks he can get another, and he has a buy-in for he has opted for like another 50-some million. I think he thinks he can get one more, maybe 2 or 3 years seems like a lot. I think because what's Chris Paul making right now?
That's a good question.
Let me see what Chris Paul makes. I'm just curious. What Chris Paul's contract looks like.
Why are you looking that up? Bucks After Dark said we want the long shows.
We're gonna have a long show. We will have one, of course, for these Bucks After Dark shows tomorrow. I mean, well, let me say the other night, next week. So now Chris Paul's 39, and he's on a 1 year, $10 million deal, $10.4 million deal in San Antonio. But prior to that, so again, to get to age 39, which I guess would have been when he was 30, when he was 35 to get to before this year, he got a 4 year. So at 1 year earlier than Jimmy Butler, at 35 years old. And who gave it to him? Is this Phoenix that gave it to him? I think this is Phoenix that must have gave it to him after he got out of Houston. He got a 4 year, $120 million deal. So he got 4 years. He got guaranteed $75 million to sign it. Total guarantees $84 million. He had a 4 year, $120 million deal. That's what he wants. I think he wants a 3 year. I think that's what he wants. 3 years, $130 million, $120 million, something like that to finish out his career and get him to that would get him to 39. Yeah, he wants one more decently longer term, midterm deal. And again, I get why he wants, because who doesn't? Who wouldn't? If they who wouldn't?
Well, I mean, and the thing about athletes, right, and just from with my little brother's situation and stuff like that, I understand it differently after he made the MLB squad, that you and I as professionals, we have till we're 70 to work, 75, 80, however long we choose to do our profession. These guys, for the most of them, their whole earning potential is from the age of 18, 19, 21, 23 to 35. And then they may not be able to work anymore because everybody can't do TV. Everybody can't do whatever. Sure. I understand all that. But at the same time, Jimmy, if you want more money, missing flights, conduct detrimental to the team, that's costing you money right now.
Yeah, he's already racked up $3 million in fines for suspensions from the Miami Heat. So I'm with you. I'm with you. But yeah, I think that's what it's all about, is getting another, again, it's different. You opt in and get 50, or I can get 3 years and get another 100, 115, 120. That's what you want. 120 is a lot more than 50. And maybe you get another 10 on the back end. So I get it. And again, that's what he feels he has to do. But I think it's a bad look for the NBA. It really, it's a bad look for him, bad look for the Heat, bad look for the NBA. Anything else you want to get at after a 125-96 win over the Miami Heat tonight?
I think Bucks next game, I believe, is Saturday, the 25th, if I'm not mistaken, in
Uh,
LA.
is that correct? Woo, man, that's a 10:30 Eastern start, and yeah, it's a Saturday night. Bucks Clippers 24-19. It's gonna be that will
Bucks
be
after dark.
a weekend Bucks after dark for real. Getting that going. But
So
yeah,
maybe we wait to Saturday night, give our AFC NFC championship
yeah,
prediction.
we can do that.
Hopefully we get Chris King and I don't know, JT.
I don't know if
He be
Chris. Yeah, I guarantee you. I guarantee you. It's probably gonna be us. I guarantee you. JT is not gonna be. But I don't know. It's a weekend. Maybe he'll push through on a weekend. But I have a feeling he won't. Maybe he will for the weekend. But that's gonna be a late. That's gonna be a real late one. For him. Getting up on a Sunday. But what was it? Yeah, we can do predictions on Saturday night for for AFC NFC. I don't know. We didn't say anything about the about national championship game. I thought that Ohio State's just a little too much, and then you had a chance to win it. I'll say last thing I say. Only thing I say on the Natty was I understand what Notre Dame was trying to do when they went 0 into the game. The only thing you should have put a safety over the top. They should have absolutely put a safety over the top. And what you're trying to do is just get pressure. That's what they were trying. You're trying to get pressure because again, it's one of those things where a perfect throw beats perfect. And again, the DB wasn't perfect at all. DB definitely. It was a hell of a route. Stemmed him up. Got up the field. It was a beautiful route. But you're hoping that you can get pressure to the quarterback, and that's going to screw up the time, going to screw up the throw, so he doesn't make a great throw. And again, Will Howard wasn't like he made a great throw. It just had to get there, and it got there where it was supposed to be, big time catch, and that was the ball game. But yeah, it was solid. It was okay. Title game. I thought nothing. Obviously, Notre Dame got themselves back into the game like it was going to be. They weren't. And they were out of it for a while, but they got themselves back in contention, and it was fun. So funny, I saw like the ratings were like they had like 22 million viewers, and they're like it's a down year, and I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy because so many sports wish that they could get 20 million people to watch their event and call that a down year for the. I think the AFC, NFC, the division round of playoffs were down. But again, it's huge numbers to be down. The NBA would love to be down like that, with 20 million people watching some of their games. But yeah, anyway.
And I think Ohio State, they were the superior athletic team. They had more changed players at the positions. I know Chris King had the Ohio State quarter zip on at the last show. I know that young brother be having his chest poked out all the rest of the year and letting us know how great Ohio was. I can't say anything negative about that team. And you know what's scary? The majority of them guys are young kids. So they're going to come back, and I think they probably roll and do it all over again, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. They definitely have some young boys, and Ryan Danner, they were clowning him because he dyed his beard, but let the man live, man. Yeah,
I did have one more thing, man, for all our people in the chat, man, and all the people on Twitter, man. Make sure you download that iHeart app and you listen to 97.3 on Saturday mornings when Trey, Chris King, and JT are on there on your T's and Q's, because you're going to get this Bucks talk, but you're going to catch a lot of other stuff. And it's what the culture needs, man. It's a culturally best sports show on Saturdays, period. So tune into the homies and listen to them, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely, man. We have a lot of fun. Get the iHeart app, 97.3 The Game worldwide, iHeart Radio, on your T's and Q's every Saturday, 10 to noon Central. We're on for 2 hours, and like I said, we have a lot of fun on that show. A lot of different topics, and yeah, we definitely talk Bucks, we talk football, we talk just a little bit of everything. Current events, things that are happening. And again, it is very, very enjoyable. Yeah, no, absolutely, real good. Okay, anything else? Bucks 125, Heat 96.
No, I'm good. I hope they drank Curly's out all them $3 specials tonight, because we gotta go to bed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We appreciate you guys for joining with us tonight. Again, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We thank you. We thank you for it. We appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. Oh man, you know what's crazy? I'm not gonna do it. I didn't even say. I didn't do the Twitter. I didn't read anything on Twitter. But that's okay. We let Twitter live for today, and
I got you. Trade Bobby.
You know
Good
what's
win.
crazy? I don't think there was a lot of trade Bobby. I really don't. I think they stayed away from the from wanting to trade from wanting to trade Bobby tonight. Let's now I'm here. J.R. Horvath says just got back from the game tonight. Excellent game, ball popping, excellent defense, tremendous performance from Dame, Trent, and Rollins. Bobby played well. Giannis dominated. Giannis dominated Bam. Really impressive win. Best game of the season thus far. At John C said this version of Dame, if it continues, might make the Bucks best team in the conference. NYC Randy says, man, I know everybody else has got to get credit, but shout out to John Horst. That's why you go get a Gary Trent. Needed shooting from him tonight. This game moved me. We 1,000% lose last year. At F. Bueller's Day Off says, Bucks seem to absolutely cook when Chris, Bucks seem to absolutely cook when Chris is out. Imagine throwing in Levine as a legit number 3. I'll do this last one. At the Wisconsin kid says, very impressive tonight. No complaints. No trade demands. We're 8 games over 500, moving in the right direction. So again, that's good stuff. At Class Analysis, 5 blowout wins in the world. Team was really good right now.
That was a good Twitter night, man.
Yes.
Even the Wisconsin kid, he normally got the president of we the trade president Bobby fan club or whatever I was trying to say, man.
Yep.
Hey, shout out to y'all on Twitter for the positivity tonight.
I know it, man. Yeah, 5-game win streaks, we'll do it. And the Bucks, this is 5 games in a row. You win over 15-point wins. Man, so got back to some Bud era ball where you're just blowing the hell out of teams. Belt to ass tonight. Bucks 125, Heat 96, showing Heat culture, what Bucks culture is all about. Bucks culture's Bucks and 6, you know that. Man, we had fun tonight. I enjoyed it. Really good show. Really good, all you guys listening. Thanks, Bucks After Dark, for joining us. A lot of super chats from Bucks After Dark. He's throwing that cash. So he stayed out the strip club tonight. He put the cash into throw some dollars at the Cream City crossover. So we appreciate it, man. Really enjoyed it. Again, thank everybody for listening. I want to thank our sponsors tonight, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Get out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Have some fun. Enjoy it. They're a proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Please get the likes, subscriptions, all that stuff. Please do it. It helps us out a tremendous bit. We enjoy it, and we thank you for it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover. We do it after virtually every Milwaukee Bucks game. Barrett Lowe shows it. That's my man, Creamy Boys. We're rapping, Barrett. You missed the fun tonight. So yeah, we're wrapping this thing up. But yeah, it was really fun. He says let's have a debate one of these days. I don't know about that one. Every centimeter. I'll say, hey, yo.
I'm crying real tears.
Man, y'all are funny, man. It's funny, man. It's the Bucks fans are the best. I might be the best fan base in all sports. He says he'll watch it back. We appreciate it, Barrett. So again, good stuff. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru, Trey Crosby III. I might have went out. I don't know what's happening.
I got you, Justin.
I think. Oh, you got. Did you say something before?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you never said. Oh, okay, you got. Okay, damn. I'm like, damn, did my stuff not work? All right, good. My bad. So we're going off the rails to end this thing. Hey, if I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wooden nickels. Kurt.